Hey dumplings, it's David Aside. Today I want to get into Jungkook and Jay Park collab and the controversy. I also want to talk about Jungkook's action to a reporter at the airport, but before we get into this, we have to talk about personal health and taking care of ourselves. It's fun to hear what's going on, but we must also take care of ourselves. I want to introduce you guys to the sponsor of today's video, Noom, and their program. This is not a diet thing because the goal isn't to lose weight or strictly that, but it's something to help you get healthier. It's a complete change in how you view food and your relationship with food and building a healthier lifestyle around that, and of course in that process you may lose some weight. Every day in the program there's questions and lessons that are sent to you to better help you understand food. It only takes like 10 minutes to get through, so they'll ask you questions like, is a grape better than a raisin, and then actually telling you why one is better than the other, and they both kind of taste similar, so knowing why one might be better than the other can help you make those small substitutes that you won't even notice much, but you will get healthier. You also get one-on-one coaching. So personally for my health journey, I eat very poorly and a lot of fried food. So when I told the coach that, she noticed that I did eat a lot more fried food when there was nothing else to eat and I was just like, wait, let me go to McDonald's. And we kind of worked on how to fix this, and she challenged me to try alternatives that maybe were just as convenient to make. You also have group coaching. Psychologists have talked about how this helps you actually stay with it. It kind of humanizes this experience for you, knowing that everyone is on the same boat. You're all together to give each other motivation. It also feels like it's not just a professional who you may feel like doesn't really understand what you're going through. In the description, there is a very quick little quiz you can take to get a personalized plan, and you literally can start today. So I hope this is helpful to you. Please check them out and thank them for sponsoring today's video. So hater or not, make sure you subscribe with the notification bell on. Grab your dumpling at Tea-Spilling Mug merch and let's get into it. Jungkook is probably the sweetest person to ever exist in the world, and I'm so happy to see him really happy. You know he's really happy, and you can tell by the way they interact with reporters. So the members except RM left to go back to Korea, and these members ran into the paparazzi. They were waiting for BTS to board and exit the plane. The paparazzis usually are there just to get a glimpse and photos of the outfit and then what the members are wearing, and this usually gets plastered over the newspapers and magazines. So before I hear that these reporters are hurting BTS or stalking them, usually they're notified by the idols team to be at the airport around this time. Not always, but sometimes, especially in Korea, because there are stalking laws that prevent them from just finding the members. Doing this is so the magazine company or news sites can get those exclusive photos published. Now, K-pop idols don't have to interact with these reporters, and sometimes they prefer not to, because even if the company tips off the paparazzi to tell them, hey, our idols are going to be here between 1 p.m. and 7 p.m., the paparazzi has every right to be rude to the idol, and as the company, you have no control over that. So if they happen to say something really rude to BTS to get them to react and then publish that story to say that BTS was being rude, they can do that, and that is why celebrities often put their headphones in and will not listen and will not respond. However, it seems no matter how famous, how successful the boys get, they still manage to be really humble and interact the same way someone who is newly famous would react. It's so refreshing. Jungkook noticed the reporters as he was coming out and took a moment to literally stop and stand in front of the reporters and do a full bow. Not like a small head bow, but like full all the way half bow, to show his respect to the reporter and to thank them for coming out. One thing I will say is that oftentimes, not all the time, but the Korean reporters are usually pretty nice. And if they're not nice, it's usually behind BTS's back, not in front of their faces. At this point, news sites know that if they try to say something rude to BTS to get BTS to act rudely and publish that story on their news company, they would literally be attacked heavily and maybe even sued. So they don't do that to BTS's face. It wasn't only Jungkook who was so kind. Taeyang even made sure to interact with the paparazzi as well. Everyone was screaming things at him. Nice things, of course, but in these situations, you can imagine how difficult it would be to hear everything, react to everything. It's just very overwhelming to an extent I can't even imagine. But Taeyang still managed to answer every comment thrown at him, either with a subtle head bow or maybe even verbally, although I don't think anyone could hear him if it was verbally. But he definitely acknowledged that. This is a skill on its own. It's hard to do. There were even moments where Taeyang saw a reporter almost hit a pillar as she was taking photos of him, and he wanted to make sure that she was okay. Previously, Taeyang gently pushed a reporter to make sure he wouldn't get hit by a pole, which again, in this type of situation, to be so aware of your surroundings to even notice is such a good skill. I would have kept my head down and just kept walking and like not looked at anything. Back to Jungkook and his sweetness, people think that he was kind of being taken advantage of recently when a photo, I believe, Jay Park posted of him and Jungkook together. It appeared like the two were in the studio, so there were a lot of speculation of a collab. It could either be a collab or Jungkook just happened to be in the studio to record his part for the new BTS comeback and ran into Jay Park, who might have also been working on something. Although less likely, right, as the two are not in the same label, so they wouldn't be in the same studio. Maybe, maybe not. However, there is some controversy with this photo. As per usual, people have mixed reactions when it comes to Jay Park. What do I think of him? I think he's a human being and should be treated as such. I am not a fan. I don't typically listen to his music. I don't keep up with him like crazy, but he's a human being. But he does say things sometimes that get him in trouble. In this video, I am not going to address the majority of his controversies with claims ranging from racism or whatever the other claims are. This would be for another video. But for this video, I'm going to focus on the claims that he quote-unquote hates BTS. Twitter is an interesting place. It's a place where something literally so straightforward can and will be taken out of context. Something as simple as I like dogs can be taken as, so you want to kill all the cats. This guy supports animal abuse. And worst of all is that that goes viral and people just believe. If you take away anything from watching my videos, please take away not to judge someone based on something you read on Twitter, no matter how true you may think it is, because there's always more to the story that Twitter users conveniently take out to make that person look bad or just wildly chooses to misinterpret it. Jay Park has talked about BTS as if you're making Korean music, you will be compared to BTS in America. And I want to preface, trigger warning, these are the worst things that Jay Park has said about BTS. He has said in a podcast or interview that he is in an awkward place because in Korea his lyrics are too edgy, but in America he is seen as BTS's copy and they all kind of push off his music. This was one of the examples used to say that he hates BTS. When I dyed my hair, people on the street would stop me to tell me, you look like a BTS. Being an artist that is not BTS, you obviously don't want to be compared to BTS, especially since both artists have completely different types of music. And yeah, if I think Jay Park is the next BTS, why would I listen to him when the original BTS is still making music? So where in this sentence did he say he hates BTS? Another example that was used to say he hates BTS is when Jay Park said that not all Korean music is BTS. I am not sure the people saying that this is a racist comment have ever left their house. It's a lot less now, but when BTS debuted in America in 2017, every single group or any music that sounded Korean, not even Korean, even when Chinese music was played in Chinatown, people were saying, is that the new Chinese group BTS? I could literally hear people saying this as I walked by. I had to literally bite my tongue to be like, don't turn around. So yeah, Jay Park was right. Not all Korean music is BTS because people think that. Like, I am not sure what people think he meant by that. Do you think he's lying about the racism that Koreans get? Because that's true. Korean people are compared to BTS because BTS is the only representation of Koreans in America, pretty much. How does this equate to Jay Park hating BTS? And what's worse is that these are the screenshots that are going viral telling Jungkook not to collab with Jay Park because Jay Park hates BTS. And even some are calling Jay Park two-faced because he seems to be quite happy to meet Jungkook. And there's many other screenshots that are the same. Another one are saying how much he likes Big Bang was interpreted that he hates BTS. BTS also likes Big Bang and has praised them. Does that mean BTS hates BTS? People are asking HYBE and Jungkook to stop this possible collaboration without even knowing if it's happening for sure. People think that Jungkook will react to these comments and stop the collaboration. But I also will tell you that BTS is not the type to hold grudges or hate on someone, even if someone did actually say awful things. If they apologized in person, then BTS will forgive. But also, even if they don't, BTS doesn't sit there and lose sleep over it. And I bet you they don't care and would still make music with that person if the music is good. Do I think Jungkook will react and end the collaboration? No. And I hope not. Do you think so? I am curious. BTS has said so many quotes on forgiveness and kindness, so they wouldn't hold a grudge on Jay Park if Jay Park has ever even said anything bad. But also, they wouldn't interpret it as bad. They don't jump to those conclusions immediately and assume everyone is bad. And also, Jay Park didn't say anything bad. Let me know what you think. Make sure to check out my Patreon for more videos. Link down below. Thank you to this lovely comment right here. Love you. Bye.